citizens are falling down.
Yellow Flash.
Well, it's just another day with video game hijinks. Got some good stuff for you today.
Woo!
Were you looking forward to
Love
the
good stuff.
XCOM style Star Wars Zero Company?
Nope.
I actually kind of was. I thought it was an interesting idea. That's something I don't think has been done before. So I was looking at it with a little bit
What was that, EA?
of interest. Wasn't really sure if I was going to get it because that actually is something that I would be interested in. Just like that pod racing game that's coming out.
I'm out on that too. It reminds me of Power Drome. Remember that shitty PS2 game that Walmart was trying to shit out to everybody?
Though I'm going to wait for reviews from people I trust on that game. This game, however, not buying it because of a new interview that
I identify as non-binary.
came out today from Rock, Paper, Shotgun, or yesterday, I believe it dropped.
Rock, paper, shotgun still a thing? Holy shit.
So I saw this post first from Endymion, and boy, oh boy, was it telling. New Star Wars game. Looks inside. They, them pronouns.
Main
He's a
character.
Main character.
Wow.
Word salad journalism, activism. The Western industry is going to bury itself alive at this rate, won't it? Who is this for? And that's a good question. Who is this for?
It's for... It was already being made because Saudi Arabia and other international entities wanted to devalue the company so they can get a cheaper price. And this is one of those games that was a victim of that.
So I went to check this out for myself. I had to see, is this real? And sure enough, it is. So Rock, Paper, Shotgun puts this article out. Time will tell. Bit Reactor talks queerness in Star Wars Zero Company. And whether they'll keep working with the Saudi-owned EA. Trying to get this thing out the door so all that paint is pretty fresh. Well, I won't be watching this paint dry. What a stupid idea this is. Imagine doing this in today.
Imagine thinking this is a good idea. I wonder what the thought process of the people who made this game was like. Were they just trying to own the chuds? Was that the whole reason they made this game and other games like Dragon Age? Were they even passionate about making the game, or were they passionate about owning the chuds?
Today's AAA climate. So a lot of people probably not going to pick this game up now because they don't want to deal with this shit.
Yep.
And
I already wasn't going to pick it up, but this just seals the deal for me to not even get it if it's $1. I'm not even going to get it if it's free. Nope. No, thank you.
it isn't just a character option this time. At least according to the developers themselves, you cannot change the way your character is addressed, even though you can apparently make a custom character. The character is not set. You can create it, but you don't get to change the way you're referred to, which is always they, them. Let's read this word salad, because I gotta say, it is... I can't think of anything better to not only sum up video game journalism, but AAA gaming. These activists literally are playing with millions of dollars of a company's money so that they can just push heteronormative pronouns out of here.
It's the same shit with the Democrats using fraud money to fund everything, you know? That's the same shit. They're just using corporate money because the corporations don't care and they think it's part of the culture.
Listen to this word salad.
And a lot of them are into it. And they buy up these companies, they get put at the top of these companies, and they don't give a shit. They're just going to move on if everything crumbles. They're going to go to a different company and then do the same thing.
And Bit Reactor's XCOM-style tactics RPG, Star Wars Zero Company, you play a custom character called Hawks, who is referred to using they, them pronouns. With my armchair producer hat on, I suspect that partly just a way to avoid recording several sets of voice lines for different player pronoun choices.
So they're using the pandering to the leftoids in order to cut corners? What?
But Zero Company, as a whole, does support expressions of gender that differ from heteronormative male and female archetype, or at least
heteronormative. Dude, I'm so tired of these words.
It's different
They're made
enough
up
to make me, a cisgender writer, curious about expressions of queerness and transness everywhere in Star Wars.
What a story, Mark.
So this game is instantly off of my radar.
It's fucked.
Now, the whole article is about how excited the writer is for gayness in Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then why...
If you were a fan of Star Wars, you wouldn't want this shit in there. You are just a tourist, a commie, actually, because you want to take it over and morph it into something disgusting and degenerate.
BitReactor might not work with EA anymore. So now a lot of these journalists are going after EA because they've been bought out.
They will still work with EA if EA is going to pay them. Because what else are they going to do? Become indie and then not have corporate money backing them? No way.
Out, and they're now Saudi-owned. And the reasoning for that is because, well, I don't know how much you know about Saudi Arabia, but they're probably not going to be too keen on putting this kind of stuff in future gamings. And because these people apparently really don't care that much about money, they're now going to be forced with a dilemma. Do we work with EA? And you better believe me.
Let me tell you something about money. Money is a capitalist blood currency. That's what it is. That's what these people think. They think money is just capitalism. We won't need money in the communist utopia. Everybody will just be allowed to do the jobs that they want to do. There'll just be infinite money.
Activists are going to go insane over them. So to take
No,
it
they're
back
not.
a little bit.
I don't think anybody cares. I haven't seen anything about this game. I just saw it pop up on my YouTube, and I was like, holy shit, this sounds interesting.
Off the Star Wars thing, because this game is cooked. You can see why these things are so important to these developers, because they're activists first. And a really good example of this would be to take a step back to yesterday's video and talk a little bit about Supermassive. Remember, Supermassive is going under.
Done.
They have made the difficult decision.
They got too supermassive and exploded. It was like Goku giving that dragon guy too much energy, and then he exploded.
To begin a redundancy consultation. So basically, they're going to be interviewing everybody that works for them and asking them what they do here. So they're going to have to make some hard cuts. Well, there's an interesting...
Isn't that what Elon did to X?
Video here from...
Or I guess Twitter.
Learning the Law, going over some parts from a Supermassive interview about their favorite LGBTQ plus IA characters in video games and how important it is. All of them are fired, too, by the way. Let's watch this. Here's the video, and there's Learning the Law. Let's go through this important context here, and you can find out for yourself why video games are kind of cooked. You see, all of these people thought they were untouchable, could pretty much just do whatever they want in gaming, and you would just keep buying it and have no choice. And it was too big to fail, and basically they can go ahead and shed those chuds, get rid of those chuds. They'll have a more refined and sophisticated audience to buy their shit. Well, none of that happened, and now they're all going out of business. So let's watch this very important video here.
So my favorite character is Ellie from The Last of Us 2. Clearly like her so much because I have her tattoo. But, I enjoy her because she's a great character, she's courageous, and she drives me to the game. I find that really cool thing about Ellie as well, that her partner is Dina, and she's a great bi character. So
Favorite
Oh.
character in gaming has got to be either Dorian or Ironbolt from the Dragon Age series. Growing up, there wasn't a lot of in games, so being able to actually have a character that I could primarily romance and be able to be a little bit more authentic.
Fire the gays. All of them.
Instead of having to be
Real alpha male right here.
a pretty woman that marries Alistair. You couldn't romance him in the first game.
My favourite character in games is Lev from The Last of Us Part 2. His determination, his will.
I like how it says advanced game designer. I bet you're advanced. I bet.
So immense about being who he really is
He got advanced by saying all of the right things.
in sort of the darkest of times by being persecuted by his community and the apocalypse. And he's just really cool as well. Really fun.
Real cool, real cool. Goes on for a little bit more, but I think you see the point here. Like, all of this stuff is more important than anything else in the game. And a lot of these people make it clear. I'm surprised that Star Wars game and the way they're handling that got approved by EA. Like, what are you doing, EA?
It got approved by EA because they saw the writing on the wall. They knew they were going to get bought by Saudi Arabia, so they were like, well, just shit out all the gayest stuff that we can.
If you had the option to have he or she in there, and apparently you do, but they still call you they, them anyway. At least going by what Rock, Paper, Shotgun is putting out there. Now, if that's not true, BitReactor better jump on that. but I doubt they will because then they get feedback that's bad. Maybe Saudi Arabia will make them do something. I don't know. Now, it doesn't stop here. We're going to now take a look at another studio that closed last month. Well, they didn't close. They're also consolidating, and I thought I would show you why. So, Compulsion Games, back in 7/6/26, so not that long ago, announced that they were splitting from Xbox, and they were also going to have to move some of their team members into a new transition period, and that transition period is called unemployment. So they
That's
are
funny.
also laying people off, and you're probably
And they identify as unemployed now. That's what happens whenever you go trans.
saying, well, who is Compulsion Games? Well, Compulsion Games made the award-winning South of Midnight. Do you remember that disaster that was a complete flop when it came out? Had like 1,000 people playing on Steam.
And it wasn't even that bad. It was just that nobody wants the gay shit no more. That game was basically just a PS2 game. It didn't even have better graphics than a lot of the PS2 games. It was kind of just bleh.
Even that, and there was no numbers for it on any other system. It was a complete bomb, but somehow still got awarded Game of the Year and all kinds of other things.
Yeah. So did Dragon Age the Veilguard. It won Game of the Year.
And that's because of game journalists, who are also a big reason as to why
The game journalists, they shake hands with these AAA companies. AAA companies use them to push their products to make more money. And these activists use the game companies to help push their agenda, and all their agendas are aligned. And they're all owned by the same international corporations and investors.
the video game industry is in the state it's in, because they've pretty much manipulated everything and have kind of put the strong arm on a lot of these developers to bend to their will. Developers go out of their way to try to please these people. They go out of their way to cancel anyone that goes against them. Reset Era, a forum where a lot of these people hang out, is full of cancel pigs that go after anybody that doesn't adhere to their Stalin ways.
I call them degen freaks.
Jason Schreier is a really good example of that. Polish Tamales made a good little list of why that guy's scum. He's in the
I love Polish Tamales. She follows me and likes my posts quite often.
middle of a big controversy right now because he got busted lying about his Blizzard bullying bullshit. He made up a bunch of shit about Blizzard,
The Cosby Closet. Give me a fucking break.
basically. And that was a big story. Blizzard got in a lot of trouble because of him and his investigative journalism. Here's some shit that he's done. And he says he isn't part of the culture war, but he is the culture war. 2013 of April. Called Dragon's Crown sorceress design made by a 14-year-old boy accused of moral panic over sexualized art. June 2013, branded trendy entertainment a studio from hell over crunch and sexism. Later claims were questioned. In 2013, Bethesda blacklisted him and Kotaku for years for his internal reporting. 2014-2015, Game Journal Pro's membership sparked collusion accusations during Gamergate. May 2016 reported No Man's Sky delay causing death threats to developer. June 2020,
I remember that. I was very, very heavy into the No Man's Sky culture before it came out, and I didn't buy it. I bought it in 2021 for $10. Best video game purchase I ever made. That game is so good. If you played it back then or you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend you get it now. Because holy shit, it's endless.
feuded with Neil Druckmann, or called a bully by other devs. 2021-2024, accused of timing amplifying Blizzard harassment stories for his book Play Nice. November 2023, leaked GTA 6 trailer timing early. Rockstar staff publicly disliked the snooping. October through November 2024, called Veilguard critics chuds, admitted he disliked the game but loved dunking on them, then deleted the post. And then, of course, August 2026, locked his X account and fully shifted to Blue Sky as the Blizzard story resurfaced. Jason Schreier doesn't just report the culture war he created.
I have infiltrated Blue Sky successfully. I've got secret Blue Sky accounts. They keep banning me. So I just made a whole bunch of secret accounts because Proton lets you make a whole bunch of emails. If you pay for Proton, you get so many emails, and you can just delete them and make new ones. It's really easy without even having to go through all the rigmarole setting up a new account.
Creates it. And I think that's a good summary of not just him, but every single video game journalist out there. They have done their part in also destroying everything that we love about gaming. But as I've
So now we're going to destroy them.
stated before, there is a course correction coming. We've seen...
It's already here. The AAA gaming industry is completely fucking done. AA and indie and retro is where it's at right now. That's why we keep seeing these re-releases of old games. That Lord of the Rings War in the North game just got re-released, and they're saying that they're going to be re-releasing a whole bunch of other games. Hell yeah.
Lots of people get laid off, and we're going to end the video with another layoff. You have a game journalist, or not a game journalist, I'm sorry, a developer that worked for Saber Interactive.
I saw this.
They fired Stella.
Yeah. Who?
Stella, who was their lead narrative writer. Well, them got fired and replaced with AI, and I would say the AI is a little bit of an upgrade maybe here. But yeah, that's where we're at now. So they're all losing their jobs. Journalists.
I mean, I don't mind the AI if it's good. If they're using it correctly and they're not cutting corners.
Are getting laid off and terminated. Studios are continuing to fall.
If they use AI because they think it's cool, I'm all about that shit.
Ruining games before they come out. That Star Wars game, a lot of people were actually excited about that. I saw a few people that I knew. Talked to them. They were excited because apparently there's some XCOM people attached to this game. And what's the first thing they do when they get this Star Wars property, a property with tons of people? Well, still a few people, but not tons anymore. It's a dying brand. That's why they have to make comic books now that cross over Star Wars and Marvel. Talk about desperate.
I didn't know that was happening.
Desperation right there. I can smell it coming from this photo.
Dude, I could see that happening 10 years away, man. I called that shit so hard that they were going to start doing crossovers because they need to make money. But I thought it was going to be more like Marvel and DC. I really thought Disney was going to buy DC and have a monopoly on superheroes. Imagine that being the thing that they have to fight in the government. A monopoly on superhero properties.
That's where we're at now. And it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah.
So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell. And
Dude, I fucking love it. I love how all these companies are suffering.